food and beverage policies. Today we're going to be talking about 4 policies, and the first one is the food and beverage outlet concepts. Okay, let's hear what it has to say. Do you know why we have systems? Do you know why there are policies? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it important for us to have policies, and why are we discussing policies? Have you thought about that? Have you asked yourself? Okay, what do you have to say?
Okay, we have policies to guide us. So, like, it's good to have rules and regulations because they guide us in whatever we're doing.
Very good, brilliant answer. Please clap for her. Yes. So when you have rules and regulations, it guides you. But there is another aspect that I'd like you to focus on. Policies protect you as a staff. Right? Policies are made to protect you as a staff. Because if something goes wrong, you can be held accountable. Do you understand? If something goes wrong, you can be held accountable. But if there are policies, and you say, excuse me, management, the policy says I should do this like this whenever I am faced with this, and that is what I have done. And on that note, you have no reason to hold me accountable. Do you understand? So one of the importance of policies is to protect you as a staff, to guide you on what you should do and how you should do what you should do. If we want to set traps for you, we won't give you policies. I hope you know that. If we want to set traps for you, we will not give you policies. So that when you fall into the trap, you say, hey. So you can't use your sense and know that this is what you're supposed to do. So anywhere you find yourself in an organization and they give you policies, it's because they like you. They want you to be at your best and they want you to be protected. Then, in return, treat the guests well. So that is why we are taking upon ourselves to discuss these policies on F&B. How to provide excellent service, all right, and be the best version of yourself. Okay, so on this, it is a policy of Crispan that F&B management in operating departments follow the specified food and beverage concepts in all respective outlets. In all respective what? Outlets. Now, what is the purpose? The purpose of this policy is to ensure that all outlet concepts are followed accordingly and no deviation takes place. This policy also ensures that altered or amended concepts will meet the needs of the targeted markets and Crispan product specifications and standards. What is the procedure? Okay, so there is a food and beverage operational manual which will be visited, and we will discuss that later. So revision of that concept statement needs to be approved by the general manager. So for this is to tell you that the whole essence of having the policy, just like we have said, is for you to provide services according to Crispan standards, which is high. Alright? So this is just an introduction for you to understand why we are doing this. There is a standard that we are hoping to achieve, and we are going to get there. Okay? Alright. Review reports. MOR, Management Operation Review Reports. This policy, it is a policy of Crispan that management operation reviews is conducted at least once a year in the hotel's food and beverage operation in accordance with Crispan policy. The MOR is to be conducted internal or external. So it's more or less like a review. You're asking your guests, how will you rate our services? Sometime in December, we applied this policy. The turnout wasn't very good, but we did apply it. We invited our guests, how many people were around in December? That program we did for NGOs. Yes, you were around, yes. So that is why, now you understand why we did something like that. Because it's in the policy. At least once in a year, you should carry out a review, ask your guests, how well have you performed? Did you like your experience here in Crispan? And it should be done once in a year minimum. Now, the purpose of this policy is to have a fresh set of eyes, take a thorough and objective look at our food and beverage operations. These reports ensure that Crispan standards and touches are implemented. MOR reports are intended to keep our hotels clean, in good repair, identify problem areas, and alert local management of declining products of service trends. Because your customers are the ones that will tell you if you're really doing well or not. Your customers are the ones that will tell you, we enjoy your food and we love your staff. Now, this should be off record, Mr. Bright. Customers are always right. Is that not what they tell us? So when you are attending to people, know that you are here to make them happy. It doesn't matter your own experience, where you're coming from, what has happened. At that moment, it's hospitality business. Why is it called hospitality? If you're not a hospitable person, then what are you doing in hospitality business? But now that we are here, we have all found ourselves here, we should be truly hospitable people. We shouldn't use words like I can't. It's not allowed. You should be careful the words you use, your choice of words. It's not allowed. Somebody calls you for breakfast because you are not angry. Sorry, madam, we can't do that. Sorry, madam, we don't do that here. You can actually tell somebody no without saying no. Do you know that? You can tell somebody no without actually saying no. That is hospitality. And until you can do that, you are not yet a hospitable person. Until you know how to communicate. Until you can tell somebody no without necessarily saying no, you are not yet a hospitable person. Check the tone of your voice. Practice. Look at yourself in the mirror. Rehearse your voice. You're a hospitable person. You are smiling. There are people that have been served food and they rejected the food because of the look of the person. Personally, I will share my own experience. I go to buy something from somebody and your face is looking. I can't buy it. Because in my mind, I wonder, are you sure this person doesn't poison people? If your look is like this, do you understand? And your words are very harsh. So hospitality is a place where people who are hospitable should work. Because you don't know what the guest is experiencing, you don't know where the person is coming from. That hospitality is what they need. And at Crispan, we hope to provide one of the best hospitality service. So now, the purpose of this is to have a fresh set for us to analyze. But before that, once in a year, you assess yourself. Are you getting any better? Did I attend to this customer well? Was I rude? Did I serve them well? Did they enjoy their meal? Did I do the right thing? Did I punch the right figure? Did I manipulate figures? Did I do anything? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. You want to prosper? Then you have to sow seeds. Seeds for what? Prosperity. Do you understand? If you want to prosper, you sow seeds for what? Prosperity. But when you sow seeds of something negative, what is waiting for you in the future? Now, what is the procedure for this MOR? The report is done by the area food and beverage coordinator or the food and beverage director assigned by the area F&B coordinator. So for us here in Crispan is the F&B director and the supervisors. The reporter is to be thorough, consistent, and direct in its critique. So that is all about this MOR, which is a review that will be carried out once in a year. It is the policy of Crispan Suits that all coffee served in all outlets is freshly brewed. Only high-quality coffee blends, including decaffeinated, are to be used. Pastry, you're here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you do?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Freshly brewed?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you keep it in the fridge?
No.
Okay. The purpose of this policy is to achieve consistency in standards and provide guests with a high-quality cup of coffee. Now, what is the procedure? Coffee is to be served in all outlets, room service, individual thermos pots, then banqueting, functions up to 30 persons by cup. Functions above 30 persons by thermos pots or silver coffee jug. Do we have these pots? Alright, so we've talked about the cup. So this topic has brought about the need for us to have a complete set for our tea, right? And for functions, we're going to continue with the sachet, right?
Yes.
Then for room service, we should have the teacup sets to serve them. Okay. Now, if service allows, all coffee cups must be preheated to ensure hot beverage service. All coffee service to be served accompanied with fresh milk and 3 types of sugar, white, brown, and sugar substitutes. So how do you serve your own coffee? You don't add the sugar, I'm very sure. You put the sugar for the person.
That's a very bad service.
So what do you do? Actually white, brown, and the sugar substitutes. And then be the sachet one, not the one we are pouring. You pour honey, you pour, it's waste if you ask me. But that sachet one, if the white one is not enough, you add the brown one. If the brown one is not enough, add the sugar substitute. At least give the person 3. That is the standard. Right? So will you requisite for that?
I will.
So that is all about this particular policy. Do you have any question, something you do? Then we can now talk about it. So this is drink garnish concept. It is a policy of Crispan Suits that all restaurants feature a variety of specialty drinks with a garnish of fresh fruit, vegetable, or herb. That is a standard, which means that even if you're going to give them the orange juice, it shouldn't be plain. It shouldn't be plain. That is hotel standard, hospitality standard. The purpose of this policy is to achieve consistency in standards in all outlets, provide guests with an appetizing beverage presentation, and achieve a higher average check and lower beverage costs. Fresh garnishes should not be prepared in advance, but on a per order basis. Garnish should relate to the beverage drink contents. Garnishes are to be simple and elegant and add a touch rather than dominate the beverage presentation or in any way influence the taste of the beverage. I think you are going to be in the best position to explain this. For instance, you want to garnish orange juice and you want to use cucumber to decorate it. Rather than put just 1 slice, you put 5 inside. Is the person drinking cucumber or drinking orange juice? Okay, I think that is even all about garnishing. So, but what you're going to take from here now is so what we are taking from here now is that when we get to another policy, you will see that the standard is even a minimum of 3 fruit juices. That is a standard in any good hotel, a minimum of 3. So we're talking about, for instance, orange juice, watermelon juice, then let's say pineapple juice, or mixed fruit juice. There's supposed to be a minimum of 3. So in our own case here, since there's a lot of peculiarities, you can't predict when people will come in and when they would order. I would suggest that the kitchen should process the juice, but bottle for you to keep in the fridge. So if someone orders for a cup of orange juice, all they need to do is to pick the bottle that is already bottled from the fridge, pour it into the cup, garnish, and serve. Will that work? Arrangements. This is the last one and we can all go. We're supposed to have a unit like the florist's manager or something, and that person falls under F&B. So what do we do? Because that's what we're going to talk about now. Floral arrangements. Let's see. The purpose of this policy is to achieve consistently high standards in Crispan Suits and provide guests with an eye-appealing floral presentation. Floral presentations are to be determined on a periodic basis by the, you can see it's still under food and beverage and florist manager. Banquet setups are reviewed on a quarterly basis and set for the next quarter by the florist in close cooperation with the assistant director of food and beverage, banquet manager, and approved by the EAM, food and beverage. Professional album presentations are maintained for use during client meetings of banquet sales personnel. So, FMB, what do you suggest we do about this? Can it be added responsibility for the steward lady, Anne? Because even this our settings, no flowers, no live flowers inside the restaurant. Even when you set, for instance, if there is an NGO using this place and you set their table, ideally there should be a little kind of decoration. Yes, a little something that just beautifies the place and makes the food appealing. Right?
Yes.
Okay, I think that is all.